So your mother was walking your dog, and what happens?
And niggas try to hop out of the car.
And do what? Just grab her?
Yeah, it came out in the case. It's public.
Tristan, he's definitely living good. He's definitely living secure. I definitely won't want to come in here and play with him.
I'm home all the time. I'm on house arrest. So y'all take the opportunity that I'm not home. Y'all see me on live stream with Jack Doherty in Miami, and y'all do that. That's pussy shit.
How did the conversation with you and your mother go after that? Because that's one thing to go through what you're going through.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, this is what I'm saying. Everything's going on, and I'm still outside wilding like me.
She was just out walking the family dog. Mind on simple things, thinking about church, groceries, daily life, when a car slid too close and strangers tried to snatch her like she was nothing more than leverage. Later, in court records and public documents, that story surfaced, and it sounded like a warning nobody wanted to hear. Her son, meanwhile, stayed locked into his own storm. He spoke on interviews about being on strict supervision, about spending most days at home, about crowds loving the image of a fearless lone wolf moving without protection. He kept saying he still stepped outside as himself, that he refused to hide, that he lived under pressure but would not bend for anyone. While he talked about standing tall, someone else was already studying the cracks around him. The island boy—
Tristan, he's definitely living good. He's definitely living secure. I definitely won't want to come in here and play with him.
Rhythm wave like it would never crash. Now their names are being dragged into something way more serious. Talk of a break-in at 6ix9ine's Florida house, accusations of masked intruders, a weapon put inches from his mother's face while the place allegedly got stripped for everything valuable. People once joked about their antics. Nobody is laughing at this. Online, the general story spread fast. 4 masked figures supposedly pulled up while 6ix9ine was somewhere else, streaming with a homie who had just come home, laughing, vibing, convinced the day was light and easy. Back at the mansion, his mother reportedly faced terror while the house got flipped, drawers yanked, safes cracked, and valuables scooped up in minutes. That was the first version everybody accepted. Then a new clip leaked, and the storyline twisted again. One short piece of footage turned casual gossip into a community investigation. The leak allegedly came from inside the home, a grainy angle with just enough audio to break the internet. Within hours, fans started downloading the video, slowing it down, rewinding every motion, listening through the static like they were building a case file. They froze frames, circled silhouettes, replayed voices over and over. At one moment in the recording, a voice barks out a name. Not a nickname anybody in the house used regularly, but a word that sounded a lot like red, loud enough that microphones caught it. To casual viewers, it meant nothing. To people who already watched the Island Boys for years, it hit different. Kodiak Red, one half of the twin duo that went viral for chaos and controversy. The internet did not let that go. Suddenly, people started lining up clips. Old live streams, music videos, paparazzi encounters on sidewalks in Miami, TikToks from hotel rooms, anything that showed the twins walking, gesturing, moving. Social media turned into an improvised lab. Fans decided posture and footsteps might be evidence. In the leaked break-in video, one figure reportedly has a specific way of moving. He leans into each step, relaxed arms swinging with a sort of lazy confidence, shoulders rolling in a familiar rhythm. Viewers dragged out old footage of the Island Boys strolling through malls and down driveways, then ran side-by-side comparisons. They pointed at the way the hands floated near the waist, the tilt of the head when speaking, the slight lean to the left when pausing. They wrote threads claiming the patterns matched too closely to be random. Screenshots filled timelines with arrows and captions, every tiny motion treated like a clue. This is not official evidence. No court has stamped it. No detective has filed it into a folder with a case number. Still, the public started acting like they had cracked something open. Then they moved to the voices. Even through muffled audio, people argued they could still hear traces of a particular regional drawl, that Florida rhythm where syllables stretch out just a little, where attitude sits right inside the tone. Some fans claimed they ran the leaked audio through online tools, matching speech patterns to interview clips and podcasts the Island Boys did back when everything was still going up. One self-proclaimed analyst posted that their software flagged a strong similarity to Kodiak Red's voice pattern from older appearances. No official lab confirmed it, But the narrative spread faster than corrections ever could. While people argued about sound and footsteps, another angle started to form around motive. Frankie and Alex Venegas had a rapid rise that looked almost unreal. Viral songs, interviews, paid appearances, brand deals, constant lives, constant content. Money poured in, and so did attention. Then the wave collapsed, just as quickly as it grew. Bookings dropped, streams slowed, engagement tanked. Venues that once threw big checks reportedly started lowballing or ignoring them entirely. The same audience that had spammed their comments with memes now barely noticed new uploads. A fall like that hits hard, especially when it happens in public. People online pointed to numbers that used to float around their brand. Stories of $50,000 appearances, wild spending, fast living, expensive habits. All of that stacked against rumors of mounting bills and shrinking income. It painted a picture of pressure most people never experience. Legal issues started creeping in too. Charges, court dates, lawyer fees, everything that eats money while giving nothing back. The more they showed up on gossip pages for trouble instead of music, the more their chances for clean income dried up. Fans stitched it together in their minds. Declining attention, legal costs, lost management, shaky bookings. A spiral. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine continued projecting a completely different reality. He showed towering stacks of cash spread across tables. He flexed ultra-luxury cars lined up outside the mansion. He gifted his mother a high-end supercar and massive bundles of cash on camera. Every flex looked like a direct reminder of how far his lifestyle sits from anyone barely hanging on. To people under serious financial strain, watching that kind of display can light up ugly emotions. The internet's theory machine kept grinding. Users said jealousy can warp judgment, that desperation makes risky decisions feel justifiable, that people might see a wealthy rival not as a person, but as a walking vault. None of this is proven motive. It is online speculation, fueled by public posts and rumors. Lost in that noise is the person who actually faced the worst of it. It was not the controversial rapper standing in a music video, or the
home all the time. I'm on house arrest. So y'all take the opportunity that I'm not home. Y'all see me on live stream with Jack Doherty in Miami, and y'all do that. That's pussy shit. That's whack. Get no coupon for. I don't think nobody respects that shit.
She did not build a brand off chaos or trolling. Yet she is the one who ended up staring down a weapon in her own home, shaken by strangers tearing through drawers while she stood there terrified. Her son once described how someone tried to grab her.
Mother was walking her dog, and what happens?
And niggas try to hop out of the car.
And do what? Just grab her?
Yeah, it came out in the case. And it's public.
Okay, so what happened when they tried to grab her? This is an older woman.
No, my mom screamed. Like, she screamed. It was in the public. It was right under Broadway.
How did the conversation with you and your mother go after that? Because that's one thing to go through what you're going through,
That's
but...
what I'm saying. Bro, this is what I'm saying. Everything's going on, and I'm still outside wilding like me.
Woman, instead of facing the artist directly. Others pointed out the cruel logic of targeting whoever is least protected. Nobody respects that kind of move. Yet the streets know it happens more than anyone wants to admit. Beyond the emotions, there is also cold practicality behind what happened. The location of that Florida mansion has been floating around for a long time. Clips of interior tours, exterior drive-bys, and walkthroughs with popular YouTubers turned the house into something like an open blueprint. Viewers have seen where cars park, where staircases run, how rooms connect, which doors lead where. At one point, a flashy visit from a creator rolling up in an eye-catching sports car resulted in a full video of the property's outside angles. That content never disappeared. Anyone with time, patience, and bad intentions could watch, pause, and plan. Then there is the simple fact that major outlets have already published information about law enforcement raids on that same property in the past. Pieces of the address, road names, surrounding landmarks, all showing up in articles and televised reports. The house might as well sit on a digital map labeled high-value target. Add in 6ix9ine's own claims of moving without traditional armed security, talking on live streams about walking around alone and dismissing the threat level. It may have sounded bold to some. To others, it looked like an invitation. When someone constantly broadcasts wealth and removes visible protection, people with dark intentions start paying attention. The home invasion, as described in reports and online chatter, appears calculated. While he was online with his friend,
He's definitely living good. He's definitely living secure. I definitely won't want to come in here and play with
that exact window. They knew he was out. They knew his usual security followed him. They knew his mother remained inside without serious defense around her. That does not sound chaotic or impulsive. It sounds like planning. In the background, fans kept doing their amateur detective work. Height estimates based on door frames, body builds compared to paparazzi street snaps. A lot of it is wild guesswork, but some of it shows how far ordinary people will go when they feel invested in a story. One user broke down the possible jewelry worn by one of the masked figures. A glint under a hoodie looked to them like a custom chain. They claimed it matched a distinctive piece seen on Kodiak Red in recent social posts, complete with specific shapes and engravings. They posted zoomed-in comparisons, frame against photo, angles against angles. Nothing official. Still, people called it a smoking gun. Then more eyebrows raised when both island boys suddenly went quiet online around the time of the crime. For personalities who built an entire career on constant posting, sudden silence feels suspicious to watchers who live on social apps. Timelines that normally overflow with clips, rants, and selfies suddenly showed nothing. In a world that expects noise from influencers every day, silence itself starts looking like evidence. Add alleged sightings of a white sedan leaving the scene, matched loosely by fans to older clips of the twins riding in a similar car online, and the internet felt like it was stacking up clues. The plates were not readable, the angles were unclear, but that did not stop anyone from pushing the narrative further. Experts and commentators tried to remind everyone that none of this equals proof, that real investigations require more than body language threads and zoomed screenshots. That speculation does not equal conviction. At the same time, some detectives and legal analysts admitted that public sleuthing sometimes surfaces details traditional investigations miss. A unique accessory, a timeline inconsistency, a forgotten clip. The crowds may be messy and biased, but they are also relentless. Meanwhile, the rapper at the center of it all faces his own unique limitations. Because of his legal history and supervision rules, he cannot simply load his property with heavily armed private security whenever he wants. His travel, associations, and protective measures all sit under restrictions. That leaves him in a strange position, broadcasting huge wealth while operating with limited defense structures compared to what other stars with his level of controversy might demand. It is like living inside a glass house loaded with valuables while being told certain locks are off limits. The ones who truly suffer, though, are not the online commentators or the artists themselves. It is the family members who never chose the spotlight. That 60-year-old woman now has two traumatic moments stamped into her memory because of her son's world. First, strangers reportedly tried to drag her off a street while she was walking a pet. Then, years later, people in masks allegedly stormed her home, turned it inside out, and pointed a weapon at her like she was nothing but a prop in someone else's plan. She did not chase clout. She did not start rap feuds or troll on live streams. Yet she is the one who has to live with doors that feel less safe now, with shadows that feel heavier, with every nighttime noise sounding like the beginning of something terrible. This story keeps echoing beyond one family, though. It raises the question of what happens when fame, wealth, and danger cross paths in the social media era. When artists treat their homes as stage sets, their cars as props, their bankrolls as content. When every angle of their lives gets uploaded, their locations become easier to track, and both friends and enemies can see exactly what sits inside their world. The line between flexing and making yourself a target has never been thinner. The Island Boys, if they are innocent, are dealing with another nightmare entirely. Online accusations spreading faster than official updates. Threads tying their names to every angle of the robbery. People convinced of guilt long before any courtroom ever speaks their names. If they are guilty, then it is a devastating fall from viral fame to alleged violent crime, with an elderly woman caught in between. From catchy track snippets and wild interviews to whispers about armed invasion and weapons, the distance between those two images feels massive. Either way, careers built on shock value and controversy are now being discussed alongside words like home invasion, trauma, and investigation. That is a different kind of headline than anybody dreams about when chasing clout. The leaked footage, according to reports, is now in the hands of real investigators. The same clips that fans slowed down and annotated are being examined with tools far more advanced than anything online analysts use. Patterns that social media pointed out will likely either be confirmed, disproven, or replaced with entirely new information. Until official statements come out, everything lives in limbo. Still, the case has already shown something important about the current era. Online audiences no longer stay passive when a wild story breaks. They doc everything. People rush to be first, not right. They edit clips out of order. They turn maybe into definitely. They treat vibes like facts. And once a claim goes viral, it doesn't matter how weak it was, because by then, it's already lodged in the public's head like it belongs there. That's why the bigger message underneath all this goes beyond one rapper, two twins, and a terrified mother. This is what modern fame looks like when you peel back the shiny surface. When attention is currency, everything becomes content. Your wins, your losses, your family, your neighborhood, your front door. You don't just live your life anymore, you broadcast it. And the moment you broadcast it, you lose control of who's watching and why. Flashing wealth nonstop in a world where anyone can pause, screenshot, and plot is dangerous. Not because money is evil, but because visibility has consequences. Turning your home into a public museum of your riches invites attention you may never fully control. Your living room stops being a living room. It becomes a location. Your gate stops being a gate. It becomes a challenge. Even the things meant to feel private start looking like an open invitation to the wrong kind of curiosity. And it gets even darker when family members become part of the flex. Posting luxury gifts to relatives might bring joy and likes, but it can also paint targets on people who never wanted to be involved. A mother walking her dog shouldn't have to worry about being pulled into somebody else's war. An older woman shouldn't have to carry fear because the internet decided her life was connected to a headline. But that's what happens when fame spills over. It doesn't just hit the celebrity, it splashes everyone standing nearby. Fame is no longer just applause and brand deals. It's also risk management in public. It's learning that every post is a breadcrumb. Every live stream is a schedule. Every "I'm here right now" is a signal flare. And the scariest part is you might not even realize you're creating a blueprint until someone uses it. The story is still evolving. Authorities will keep working quietly, collecting what they can, connecting what matters. Fans will keep speculating loudly, filling every silence with theories. Commentators will turn it into a case study. Social media, money, history, desperation, all crashing into each other like cars in the fog. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise sits an older woman who just wants her life back. Someone who probably isn't praying for views or virality. She's praying for calm, for normal, for safety. For a day where the most dramatic thing that happens is the weather, not the internet. And that's the part people forget when they're laughing in the comments or picking sides like it's a game. Behind every crazy clip is a real person who has to sleep afterwards. Behind every trending hashtag is someone replaying that moment in their head at 3 a.m., hearing every sound twice, checking every lock 3 times, feeling their own chest tighten over a memory that doesn't care whether the internet moved on. A scar doesn't go away just because the algorithm found something new. That's the new reality of fame, not the glamorous version people sell. The other version. The one where attention doesn't just bring love, it brings eyes. And eyes become patterns. Patterns become opportunities. And once a story like this breaks, there's no rewind button, no clean reset, no "my bad" that puts the feeling back in the bottle. Fame paints targets on people who never asked to be part of the show. It turns strangers into spectators, spectators into detectives, and detectives into judges. And it only takes one mistake, one overshare, one moment of carelessness for the content you posted for clout to become the map someone uses to get close. So if you're locked into stories like this and you want every twist, every detail, every update broken down with no filter, hit like, Show some
Subscribe to Beef Scandal. Don't miss what's coming next. This isn't just hip-hop
chapters, and neither do we. In this era, every flex can turn into a receipt in someone else's case file, someone else's case file, someone else's case file.